Welcome back to Deca Facts. Today we're counting down 10 political scandals that rocked Washington, D.C. These events didn't just dominate the news cycle, they shaped public trust, influenced laws, and changed the course of American politics. Let's get into it. 10. The Keating Five, 1980s. In the late 1980s, the U.S. was facing a major savings and loan crisis. At the center was Charles Keating, a banker whose institution, Lincoln Savings and Loan, collapsed, costing taxpayers over $3 billion. 5 U.S. senators, including John McCain, were accused of pressuring federal regulators on Keating's behalf after receiving large campaign donations from him. Though none were convicted of crimes, the scandal damaged political careers and raised serious concerns about the influence of money in politics. 9. Iran-Contra Affair, 1985 to 1987. During the Cold War, the Reagan administration feared the spread of communism in Latin America. But when Congress banned aid to Nicaraguan Contra rebels, the White House found a way around it. Officials secretly sold arms to Iran, a nation under an arms embargo, and used the proceeds to fund the Contras. When this covert operation was exposed, it caused a constitutional crisis. Several officials were convicted, though most convictions were later overturned or pardoned. It became a prime example of executive overreach and secret foreign policy. 8. The Teapot Dome Scandal, 1920s. In the early 1920s, under President Warren G. Harding, the federal government secretly leased naval oil reserves at Teapot Dome, Wyoming, to private companies in exchange for massive bribes. Secretary of the Interior Albert Fall was at the center of the scandal and became the first U.S. cabinet member to go to prison. The Teapot Dome affair shocked the nation and led to early efforts to establish ethics and transparency in government contracts and resource management. 7. The Clinton-Lewinsky Scandal, 1998. What began as a private affair between President Bill Clinton and a White House intern escalated into a constitutional showdown. Clinton was accused of lying under oath and obstructing justice during a federal investigation. The House of Representatives impeached him, but the Senate ultimately acquitted him. His approval ratings remained strong, prompting national debates about the role of personal conduct in public office. 6. The Pentagon Papers Leak, 1971. During the height of the Vietnam War, a former military analyst named Daniel Ellsberg leaked a classified government study that exposed how multiple administrations had misled the public about the war's progress and rationale. Published by the New York Times and the Washington Post, the leak challenged government secrecy and sparked a major First Amendment showdown. The Nixon administration tried to block publication, but the Supreme Court sided with the press. This case helped fuel growing public distrust of government during the 1970s. 5. The Valerie Plame Affair, 2003. In the early 2000s, CIA operative Valerie Plame was outed in the media after her husband, Ambassador Joe Wilson, publicly challenged the Bush administration's claims about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. The leak, allegedly politically motivated, raised serious concerns about national security and retaliation against dissenting voices. White House official Scooter Libby was convicted of perjury and obstruction of justice, but later received a presidential pardon. 4. The Jack Abramoff Lobbying Scandal, 2000s. Jack Abramoff was one of Washington's most powerful lobbyists until it was revealed that he had bribed lawmakers, defrauded clients, and exploited Native American tribes for millions of dollars. Dozens of officials and aides were implicated, including a sitting congressman. The scandal shed light on the dark side of Washington lobbying, exposing how money could quietly buy influence behind closed doors. 3. Bridgegate, 2013. In 2013, several lanes of the George Washington Bridge were closed, causing massive traffic jams in Fort Lee, New Jersey. It was later discovered that aides to Governor Chris Christie ordered the closures as political retribution against a local mayor who declined to endorse Christie's re-election. While Christie denied involvement, the scandal severely damaged his national image and 2016 presidential hopes. 2 aides were convicted in federal court, highlighting how petty political grudges can spiral into criminal abuse of power. 2. Trump-Ukraine impeachment, 2019. In 2019, President Donald Trump was accused of pressuring Ukrainian officials to investigate his political rival Joe Biden while withholding approved military aid. The House of Representatives launched an impeachment inquiry, arguing that Trump abused his office for personal political gain. The Senate voted to acquit him, but the proceedings added to a growing national divide over presidential power, impeachment, and foreign interference in elections. 1. The Andrew Johnson impeachment, 1868. Just 3 years after the Civil War, President Andrew Johnson became the first U.S. president ever impeached. He clashed with the Republican-controlled Congress over how to rebuild the South, and especially over rights for newly freed slaves. When Johnson violated the Tenure of Office Act by firing his Secretary of War without Senate approval, Congress responded with 11 articles of impeachment. He narrowly avoided removal by a single vote in the Senate. The event underscored just how fragile post-war American unity really was, and it set a precedent for presidential accountability during political conflict. Scandals like these don't just damage reputations. They leave lasting marks on laws, public opinion, and democracy itself. Did we miss a scandal that should have been included on this list? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more political deep dives from Deca Facts. See you in the next countdown.